A very, very good morning to all viewers of Brazil and very, very good evening to all viewers of India. Good day to all other people, those who are going to watch this program through virtual media on YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms of Global Edu Leader Forum. Today's topic, which we are going to talk, early years education system. In India, it is called as early childhood care and education as per new education policy. So on a very humble note, I would love to welcome Mr. Suresh Daniel, Dr. Doris, and Mr. Salim Yaqub from Pakistan. Since early childhood is a very important integral part of education, it has been already said, if you have to plant a good tree and you are expecting good fruit from the tree, you have to check the soil, you have to do all care which is important as organic water, sunlight. Same thing in education. If the foundation is good, if the base numeracy is going to be connected with other aspects of logical thinking or kinesthetic learning, child can grow in a natural atmosphere and excel in their life. In the whole world, during time of pandemic, child is away from the home. He is isolated in a very constrained atmosphere. Everyone is connected through virtual media. So I have two speakers. I would like to take Dr. Doris first to you. If we talk about early education years, especially in schooling, what is your experience? What you would like to advise, and what are the points which you want we educators have to take into notice for better outcome, especially dealing with early years? So welcome to you, over to you, and my humble request, if you tell my viewers a little more about yourself in your introduction, will be really grateful. Welcome to you, behalf of Global Edu Leader Forum, and over to you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to take this conversation with all of you, because it's important space to share ideas from the different countries and different continents. Sometimes we have a misunderstanding of the problems in education systems in other countries, and when we have the space to conversation, we know that the problems are the same, and maybe the solutions can be the same. I'm actually working as a director of internacionalización at Escuela Tecnológica Instituto Técnico Central. This is the translation of the name, means Technological School for Technical Education. In Colombia, we are a higher education institution, and we have different levels to provide higher education. In our institution, we both has a school for bachelors, and we have a system to organize and the last 2 years of our school are recognized as the first year of the higher education system as organized in Korea. This is named propedeutic cycles. And I has prepared a presentation about the virtual community for Middle class. This is the project I am led here in Colombia and in Latin America. We have participation around 56 higher education institutions from 11 countries. It's a very strong actor in the ecosystem of higher education here in Latin America. And if you want, I can share my presentation. I can speak few words about this virtual community for support for middle classes, because in this community we have all types of knowledge areas, different areas, psychology, medicine, engineering, and also we have different levels. We have the levels of the propedeutic styles as our institution, but also in the higher education in Colombia, there are other specimens, and in our virtual community, we have different kinds of institutions. We have publics, also private. We have the campus, also campus in one city. And there is high diversity of models. There are also high diversity of interest, also high diversity of maturity of these processes, because the maturity is very important, because in the network as societies, we have the capacity to transfer the good practices, and the higher institution that has big capacity buildings can be as a big brother to others that are in the beginning of these processes. If you can, I can share the presentation.
Yes, yes. I will allow you. I will invite you. Let me hear Mr. Suresh Daniel. He's on the screen. Once we talk about early years of education, what are the important factors as per your experience in life? And during time of pandemic, what kind of effect has these? No, this is question to Mr. Suresh, and then I will allow you for presentation. Yeah.
Okay.
Unmute.
First of all, I thank Beatrice ma'am and Singh sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I hope I am audible.
Yeah, you're
audible. Am I audible to everyone?
Audible. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's very much pleasure to be a part of this global conference. First thing, and my name is Daniel, and I am into the sector from past 16 years. So I run an international school, and which, like, we had I had a very good relationship with Beatrice ma'am from past 2 years, and I have invited for the conference with my kids. That was an excellent part which we held 1 year back. And as per your question, sir, as per your question, I wanted to be more clear and spectacular in this particular point. First thing, it is a challenge for everybody. The pandemic has become a very big challenge for everybody, and moreover, it has, the pandemic had made the children to sleep, and individually ourselves, even we slept for 18 or 24 months. Here I wanted to portray many of the challenges, because I am looking every child when I'm talking or interacting with every child or every parent, especially when I'm talking to every parent. As you said, there were only not single challenge. There were many challenges, many challenges. You know, it may be in terms of discipline, or it may be in terms of academics, or it may be in terms of like putting up the skills, clubbing up together, like LSRW. all this have become a challenges for us. And not only that, see, as when Madam asked me to speak about this, I was turning up the pages. I was turning up the pages. I mean, I was actually browsing the net. What actually were the challenges? Not only Daniel has met all these challenges or the problems, but when it comes to everybody, you know, it has been met by all the people in this world. But let me tell you, sir, let me tell you, the only one thing which has to be developed in the children. From my part, children or a child has to develop independent attitude. Because not everywhere always we may or may not get the support from the Google, or we may or may not get the support from the teacher, we may or may not get the support from the illustrator or demonstrator. But the only thing is that in order to face the challenges of pandemic, we must make the child to become very independent. He has to work himself. And when compared to the European countries like US or Singapore or many other countries, when you talk about the ratio of utilization of digital modules or digital tablets or gadgets, it's very high. It's very high. And but when it comes to when you compare the people in India, because our country is a mixed economy, right? So where we have a lot of developed people, I mean, maybe the financially potential, or we can call them as financial literated people, because who wanted to spend. And here the more like I also wanted to bring a disadvantage of this gadgets again. If you encourage the people, if you encourage the people, if you encourage the people.
I'm making a question more easy. What are your three advice, 3 points which you would like to share as experience as an educator, since you are handling with the education?
Yeah.
3 points for early. Teachers have lots of challenge once schools are getting open. Kids are coming in a sleepy mood. They have spoiled their time with the gadgets and all. So if we have to calculate 3 concrete points as a message to the viewers, those who are watching.
Well.
Yeah.
First thing I wanted to suggest, make the child or the student very independent.
Correct.
And there should be a clear monitoring of the cyber usage by the child. If the web processing or web browsing by the child, if that doesn't monitor, it may lead to the disastrous aspects.
True.
Third one, I don't want to say that put the people or put the children away from the gadgets, but teach them how to utilize those gadgets.
Okay, great. I think very, very precise and a good answer. Make them independent, but you have to be very, very careful where they are browsing, what they are browsing. And at the same time, monitoring on a continuous process. These 3 things can save children from big disaster, which is exactly happening in the whole world, because internet is completely free. Free in the terms of there is no boundary, there is no one is going to take responsibility, what is right and what is wrong. Dr. Doris, coming to you, you wanted to share a presentation. I have allowed you. After your presentation, then we'll go for the viewers' question or the general question which we can take. You can allow, but already you can share your screen. Great. Virtual community of support.
Antonio Santos.
If you can press F5, slide will be more visible and clean on the screen. Yeah, you can press.
Yes.
Perfectly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will share only few ideas that that are linked with early system education, and then I answer your question about these 3 points that are very important. I think in all levels of education, not only early. Our virtual community for of support for middle classes now is in 11 countries, and our modus operandi is with holding weekly virtual meetings. And in these meetings, we share good practices in 3 levels. Practices in individual level as participant, as a professor, or as a coordinator, as an education administrator. Second level is the institutional level. In the third level is networking, both networking national and international context. For example, our institution has an agreement with the binational networking for the education between Ecuador and Colombia. And as this network is apart from our virtual community, and in that network we have around 1,000 institutions in both countries. It's very strong and very important network for the context in Latin America, and I thought that is the reason that Beatriz asked the participation in this important event. This is the summary of the institutions and the countries we represented, and we have over 16 experiences socialized in the different weekly meetings, and we constitute an initiative called intercultural dialogues, because one of challenges in early education systems, and as I said, in all levels of the education, is the relation between nations and the development of the intercultural competencies and the intercultural sensitiveness. Is very important. Intercultural dialogues are one of our promissory initiatives to put in contact, to put in dialogue different experts, participants, institutions, and networks. And I think that is very important that the conclusions of this conference, of this event that we now have, is important to socialize with our network. You are very kindly invited to our next meetings to socialize this experience, the experience of your network. Here, the most important achievement of our initiative in the Colombian context, we have a recognition from the National Ministry of Education as a good practice for the internationalization of curriculum. We work different areas of the curriculum, design of curriculum, and include of intercultural elements in both teaching and learning. Is very important. It's not only for professors or for the teachers, also for the students. Very important. The second challenge, and with a great importance for the relationship between the school and university, is the terms of environment and greeting the institutions, how the practices in the schools, in the universities are friendly with the environment, and how I think about the green and clean production. And the third challenge important for these processes is how to relate, how to relationship the initiative from the institutions and the experts in education with the policies, with the governments, and how these governments has these relations in local and global context. To relation with other countries, with relation with other continents, because when something sometimes don't know the problems you face in Asia, in Europe, in Africa, and maybe the problems are the same, and then the resolutions must be the same. The relation between children and technology. You said it. There are no borders, but there must be case rules. We have no borders, but we must to learn to accept the problems of the globe as local problems, and change our practices for teaching and learning. Here is another achievement of our initiative, and that made it very important in Latin American context, because we have the Latin American Award for Innovation in Higher Education, and this is important because the innovation that we have in the classrooms, we must systematize it and seek or create spaces for transfer it. And we have 4 groups for this.
Dr. Doris, my focus was today early childhood. Higher education we can take in the next one.
Yes, but I think okay, I will stop the presentation. But
yes, this is what let's focus on early education, because today's title is early education.
Okay,
especially dealing.
But I
please.
I personally think that some of the problems and some of the challenges are the same, and in the university we sometimes heard that must be learned on school, but in school they don't teach it, and it's the problem in the relation between education levels. Thank you.
True. The best thing which I can take you from Dr. Doris, recognition of good practices. Indeed, it is excellent work which you all have done, and internationalization of curriculum. Of course, this pandemic has given this opportunity. Everyone is connected on virtual media. Across the country, we have good approach, we have healthy discussion, and we have taken out best. I take your point, which is really very, very alarming and valid. In schooling, if you are not training people, in schooling, if child is not being trained how to behave, how to continue, how to innovate, of course, after reaching to university level, they become a very hard clay and we cannot shape them as we want. Coming to you, Mr. Daniel, since you are also dealing on a ground situation, parental engagement is the another key area in schooling.
Yeah.
And parents become a very, very important factor. Global Edu Leader Forum did lots of program, parent as a teacher and teacher as a parent.
Yeah.
Because child is not in front of teacher, child is with parents, and parents become a teacher. So first time parents have realized this, how my child is being handled by the teacher. So what is your take? What is your experience? Especially I'm talking about early child, primary education, parental engagement. In university students, very fair, they can be independent, but the primary students need their support. They were not aware of the technology. They do not know how to log in. They do not know how to operate. But within short span of time, they did wonder. So what is your experience as encountering counseling to the parents?
Right. Thank you so much. See, I was the more keen area, as you said, sir, the parental relationship as administrator or a correspondent. See, I was talking to many of the parents, and this is the 21st, the year 21st made every parent to believe that they could be able to analyze or what we say calculate the work of every teacher, because right now only a single line. The classroom is not like a classroom. It's like Jurassic Park or a zoo park, right?
True.
Because the classroom is not like classroom. Because see, I was interacting with every child, and as our topic was not about the children, let me come back. So you're asking me about the parent relationship.
Yeah.
Here, let me tell you, the very first day, 3 months back, on June 1st, started interacting with every child. Our school is with 850 students. Our school is with 850 students. As I was talking to every parent, I made my days in engaging and interacting with every parent. So here, as the first line that I was interacting with every parent, I was telling them, please don't emphasize me to get your child improved because I don't hold any magical stick. That was the first line, because I'm not holding a magical stick.
True.
Right? Because all of a sudden, you see, again, see, if we tell them, the parent comes with a more expectation towards them to the school. See, our child is not able to write.
Yeah.
Because the child was sleeping from past 22 months.
Right.
Child was sleeping from past 22 months. And all of a sudden, parent wants a lot of change in them. That child should be able to read.
True.
Whatever he or she or a mother or father shows him to read from the Google, which is not possible today.
True.
Right? Whatever they show. Because reading and writing, because I feel in education, reading and writing will always play a predominant role or the crucial role, important role.
True.
So here, as I was talking to every parent, the parent always, because in everywhere, parents' DNA will be the same. Not in the Brazil, not in USA, not in Singapore, everywhere. The parent will be in the same manner. Not need to talk about Hyderabad. DNA of the parent will be the same. DNA of the political leader will be the same. Because when we are interacting with the parent, let them understand. Let them understand. Keep it more clear to the parent. Because as I have taken a step of conducting an academic achievement test in the first week on the reopening of the school, in the month of reopening of the school.
Really
So
good.
academic achievement test. Yeah. When I've conducted an academic achievement test, I asked all the parents to sign on the papers. Because let them know the standards of the child after 22 months.
True.
Because it could be a very great technique. But I don't know how many members are running the schools in this conference who are participating. But the most important thing when you are interacting with the parent, you should be more precise and very much concentrative and more observing. Because
True.
when you take a signature on the paper, it should be for even that can be held for 2 or 3 years in the future also.
True. Very true.
Yeah, because parents always rush up. Parents always rush up to the school. He throws the paper and he says only one thing: as I'm paying the fees, my child has to be educated, because we need to hold the robots and we have to get imported. Robots has to be imported from China to teach them.
So if you have to define three expectations, three major
Yeah.
points from the parent side, can you name them?
Three important aspects from the parents and their expectation or our
Expectations during pandemic.
right. Yeah, I tell you one thing: parents' expectations are never ending, and there's no limit. The only thing is that let them know the importance of listening, speaking, reading, and writing.
Great.
LSRW, every parent should be able to understand, because in 98, when you compare, as you said, sir, like early education, in 90s it was somewhat different, because Apple has gone to airplane, Apple has gone to alligator, Apple has gone to arrow.
True.
Because there are some, because many of the parents, many of the correspondents or the educationalists, they are still following the A for Apple. Because our children they're throwing the computers. If a computer itself says that A for aeroplane, if it pronounced A for aeroplane, they wanted to break that because it is not saying A for Apple.
True. But you have to take them
Right.
away from the rote learning.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Dr. Doris, if you can come on the screen, I was really happy to see your point, recognition of good practices. If you have to name 3 to 4 good practices which you have observed internationally and which was, I think, very fascinating for the children of Latin America, can you name them as per your experience? 1, 2, 3 good practices.
Okay, thank you. The first is the summer school for young researchers, from to children to learn STEM areas, mathematics, physics. It's very good practice, because they saw the application of the processes, and not only the theory.
Okay.
It's very important. Is the summer schools. The second is the immersion for to practice languages. The immersion for example,
Communication
in Brazil.
Yeah.
To learn Portuguese, or from our partners from Brazil, to learn Spanish as a second language. The second. The third is the capacity building for the professors, for the teachers, in environment education, green technologies. These three.
Perfectly all right, and very precise. Communication become the most important and outcome of this pandemic. Technology and integration with the technology, networking with the people. I think if we can take out of this all discussion, and it was rightly said by Dr. Daniel, expectation of the parents, of course, has gone quite high, out of reach, out of reality, because they have mindset, I'm paying for you, you do everything. So all magic you can take. With this discussion, I think we all educators, those who are watching this program, are going to watch this program. If we evaluate, pandemic has given a lot. Rather than if we curse, if we find as a difficulty, always there is opportunity in each and every. This was a new kind of experience for teachers, for students. And I think, I firmly believe this is the outcome of the pandemic only. Someone is sitting in Brazil, someone is sitting in Colombia, and someone is sitting in any corner of the world, and we are interacting to each other. So this is the result of pandemic if we take it positive. Dr. Doris, I will take you further in next session for your higher education experience. I wanted to have it, but time is not allowing me. On a very humble note, special thanks to Beatrice and Renata. They are the behind this show. President Brazil Global Edu Leader Forum, who has always been handling from KG to PG, from early childhood to post-doctoral education. So your words as a closing comment.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to thank to today's speakers, Dr. Doris and Daniel, too. Thank to Global Edu Leaders Forum and the President SK Singh Sir, who are always concerned about the education of our pupils. And it's not wrong, because research shows that the stimuli children receive have an impact on how they acquire new knowledge. It is during the period that we manage to form a child with values of learning, socialization, and citizen formation. Early childhood education is intrinsically linked to the concept of childhood, and its evolution was marked by social transformations that gave rise to a new look at children. We need more discussion about early childhood education. We cannot only think like helpless beings, but teach them to defend themselves against the atrocities that are committed with children. They didn't ask to be born, it was us who chose. I defend the idea that it is not necessary to give everything to children, but everything they need to live with dignity and make the most of what they provide in the early grades. It is at this stage that we form the foundation of the future. Thank you and see you soon.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. And on my humble note, my two members, Daniel and Dr. Doris, will be invited on behalf of me as a executive member of GEL. This is my humble note and declaration on this screen. Hope to take this journey forward with the same positivity. Thank you. Bye-bye. Catch you soon.
Thank you.